Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. Here with me today, I have a Virginia Tech Hokie that I'd like you guys to meet. A big guy on the defensive line. His name is Josh Fuga. Uh, hey, man, nice to have you today.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here, man. Appreciate the time.
Cool. Obviously going through a couple of Hokies here lately. Want to get a chance to meet you and learn more about your story. Uh, Go ahead and set things up for us, man. Introduce yourself so we can get going.
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Josh Fuga, played defensive tackle here. Been here for 6 years, so since 2019 and all the way through the last season, 2024. Graduated in 22 with a bachelor's in human development, and then graduated again in the next year in 23 with a bachelor's in criminology. Wrapped up my last final year studying property management. But yeah, from Woodbridge, Virginia. Um, I got what, three brothers? Yep,
Okay.
both my
Okay.
parents. That.
We'll try and get more information as we move along. Of course, nice start to things. Josh, do you want to kind of walk through the beginnings of you as an athlete? Take us back to the beginning, man. How long have you been playing football?
Man, I've been playing football since probably when I was four. We had a league out here called ankle biters. Not it's just like pee wee ball, but we call it ankle biters out here. But yeah, I've been playing ball ever since I was four.
Neat. I'm assuming mostly as a lineman.
Yeah, yep. I've been playing line, but I for sure played all around the field. I played receiver sometimes. I played running back, played a little bit linebacker, quarterback, but I'm like a Swiss Army knife. I can do it all.
Cool. Let's talk about your days in high school. Attended Freedom High School in Woodbridge, Virginia. Um, any fond memories from your high school days that you can share?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my coach out there, Coach Daryl Overton. Great guy. A lot of other coaches, Justin Meehan, a lot of other guys that I could think of. But one of my fondest moments that I could think of, man, that I've always asked this question is when I was getting asked this question is my touchdown. I remember we were playing our rivals out there in Woodbridge, um, and it was a big game. And I remember sent the blitz, and my guy KJ Peterson, knocked the running back down, seeing the ball, and I said, all right, I might just scoop this thing up, scooped it up, and then you could just see I had a whole convoy around me, just leading me to the touchdown. That was one of the biggest ones. Another game was when we versed. I believe the name was the team was from the 757. I think it was Lake Taylor. They came all the way up to us. It was a home game. It was a day game. One of the few day games that I can remember playing in high school. Um, I just remember I came clean as a zero tech and then just smacked the running back. And you could hear everybody say, "Ooh," and it's just one of those things that you won't forget. But I have a lot of memories, but those are the two that can pop off my head.
Cool. Obviously, nice having those moments where you're able to lay somebody out and really bring the crowd in on it
Yeah.
somewhat, with the impact. Um, but of course, when a big man is able to score points, those are some excellent
Man.
memories, man. I don't know if you've had many of those collegiately or not, but I mean, uh, definitely an awesome moment. I mean, I don't know, maybe you think maybe we could throw you in at fullback at some point? I mean, maybe
I've
be
been
like,
I've been always telling my coaches that on the offensive side, I'm like, look, man, like fourth is short, fourth and goal, and we just need two inches, man. Put me in fullback. And my greatest excuse, I was like, you don't even gotta give me the ball. I just want to just line up at fullback, and then later down the line, just tell my kids I play both ways at college.
there you go.
Now I was like,
Uh,
man, let's do it.
I mean, I definitely think it'd be nice. Of course, when you get a guy of your stature, it's like an extra lineman on the field. You guys are completely like, dominating. And I know here lately people are debating about the tush push rule, but I mean, you have a guy maybe as a fullback, like we're talking, and that's
Right.
not on the table. We're utilizing you there. Let's shift gears, man. Obviously, you're a defensive lineman, and making it there to Virginia Tech. Talk about the recruiting for you coming out of Woodbridge, Virginia, and what made you end up settling there for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. It was a long process, and a lot of guys can say that it was probably also stressful. But I had I think like 16, 17 offers coming out of high school. But the only big ones, well, big ones that everybody could say was Wake Forest, UVA. UVA was my first offer. Old Dominion and Temple at the time. Um, so I had those offers. I never had Virginia Tech. I don't early on I wasn't getting recruited by Virginia Tech. So going throughout the whole process, I ended up committing to Temple. So I was committed to Temple, and then that's when Virginia Tech hopped on and started recruiting me. And it was late. I do remember that really late because I remember vividly, the coaches came out to my state championship practice and just wished me luck. And so that happened, and then I ended up flipping from Temple, and then been here ever since.
Cool. And no disrespect to Temple, but I mean, Virginia Tech program there is certainly fantastic. Obviously, a lot of great players coming out of there. Uh, Especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you're coming in there with all of the history and culture, and it has to be great getting an opportunity to play there. Of course, also you had mentioned a lot of success in the classroom, human development, criminology, property management, 17 degrees seemingly coming out of Virginia Tech. Um, uh, but great to have a Virginia Tech degree or two. Walking away is really nice. What do you see yourself doing once your football days are done, whether it be 10, 15, 20 years down the line?
Man, I see myself for sure staying close to the game by any means necessary. So coaching, coaching, or doing something with real estate, or it passed my mind that maybe get into law enforcement, something. But for sure, I can if those three was on the table and I had to choose one, I'll say coaching for sure.
Cool, cool. Let's talk about you as an NFL prospect. Again, a guy playing there on the interior defensive line. How do you describe yourself as an athlete? How do you feel like you're going to transition to the next level? And what do you feel are your best attributes as a prospect?
Yeah, some of my best attributes as a prospect, I would say for sure is my determination and willingness. So throughout college, I was asked a lot to play a lot of positions that I never thought I would see myself playing. Like being on the shield, on punt, kickoff return, being on field goal protection on the O line, playing the zero, two eye, three, four eye on the defensive line. Just a lot of things, that I was asked of, but I had no issues. That I just embraced it, and I think that's a big thing, going out through college, especially the transition from high school to college is a big transition, and is a lot of guys got to know that you got to embrace the role that you put in, and I believe I did so. I had no complaints. I was on field goal block, and I would say that I was good at it. I had my own package, my own package called Fuga left, Fuga right, and that's where the block was coming from. It was no secret, wherever Big Six line up, that's where it's coming. But it's just really like I believe that I'm willing to do whatever it takes um, to help the team out. And another big strength is that I'm a leader of men, for sure. The sport of football, it comes with a lot, a lot of mental game for sure. I believe it's a 90% mental, 10% physical. That's how I seen it, But you can't be out there with and run around like a headless chicken, So a lot of guys, struggle with that, oh, what I gotta do, what I gotta do I gotta be here? But I believe that I embraced my role and knew how to play the game within the game early on in my college career. So that helped me transition a lot of guys throughout my time, especially, and help them navigate their own way and their own path. And for sure, and I had the opportunity and the honors to be named a captain 2023. Um, but and then even last year, I wasn't named a captain, whatever, but I'm still a leader of men, and I think that that's what separates me. Men
Yeah, I mean,
before ball
you're
player.
you're you're part of that program for so many years, of course, and so I mean, it's kind of assumed, I think. I mean, whether or not you have that label or not, I mean,
Yeah,
you've been a part of that defense for a while, and people certainly look up to you. Let's talk about this defense, man. This defense has a lot of game changers, and then you there, more or less. Locking it down in the middle of the defensive line. But how would you describe that defense there for Virginia Tech in your particular role over the past few seasons?
man, that I've been a part of what different defenses, obviously with the different coaching staffs, but there was a lot of playmakers that I played with. Um, Norrell Pollard, Real Mario Kendricks, Antoine Powell, Ryland, Fub, Nias Peebles is what we call him. We call him Fub. Wilfred Panay, Cole Nelson, C.J. McCray, who's at Cincinnati. I can go down the list. There's a lot of guys with that put him in, he gonna make something happen factor. But just sitting back and just thinking about it, man, playing on those defense, I wish I could play it one more time with all those guys. But they did their thing and they out there trying to make a name for themselves as well. And I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of them. But playing on that defense and guys that, you go to war with day in and day out, practice and shed those same blood, sweat, and tears, it's a very blissful thing, to think about, especially those type of guys. Everybody know the APRs, the Fubs, the French monsters, what they call them, the Cole Nelson, the General is what we call them. But a lot of guys know about them, and it's just fun to be a part of. I can say that I play with those guys.
Gotcha. I kind of want to get your take on something because I mean, certainly the players that you had mentioned are, excellent prospects in this draft. I mean, looking at a guy like Peebles, who is helping you there on the interior, and then of course, Powell Ryland getting a ton of pressure as an edge rusher. Guys like you don't necessarily get all the love, but because obviously you're not accumulating a lot of stats during your career, but how do you embrace the role of locking down your position and allowing others to shine?
Yeah, I know it comes with knowing who I am. My Coach Price, he says KYP it, and that means know your personnel. And in a way, when I first heard of it, I looked at it at a football way for sure, first thing, but I also looked at it within myself. I got KYP myself. Know who I am. More of a run stopper. For me, a lot of guys may not say this, but it might be a little crazy. But me, I like taking on double teams. For sure. I don't know what it is about it. But just being able to anchor and then knowing that I'm not giving up a lot of movement most of the time, it's just I know I won the battle, but just know that I could do my job and everybody else around me could be successful. For me personally, that's a great feeling. I don't take that lightly, but I just KYP it. I know myself.
Yeah, yeah. So, in a weird sort of way, when you are regularly taking on double teams, dude, whether or not you're the one who actually, gets the tackle, you are doing your job because if you are taking on two guys like regularly, that means that there's somebody else, who's going to be, unblocked, who obviously gets all of the plays. I mean, in a guy perhaps, in Peebles or Pal Ryland. A lot of great guys there on that defensive line who have done some excellent things. Do want to talk about this past season for you guys. Ended up with a 6-7 record when it was all said and done. But you yourself had a lot of great moments throughout this past season. Do want to touch on a couple of them. One, you had this great matchup against Stanford, where you welcomed them kind of dominantly, of course, to the ACC. Just kind of demolishing those guys, establishing yourself very well, and you had a great play in that game where you had a sack. So, can you walk me through that game and that particular play?
Yeah, just leading up to that game, we had a lot of, I want to say pressure, but it was a lot of tension for sure. Because the week before we had the very upset with Miami, and we were just thinking about like, man, we got to go to Miami and then go across the country, and then had the outcome of what Miami was, very disappointing. So I feel like right then and there, that was the come togetherness where like, you know what, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, let's come together. And we put on a 4 quarter game, you know. Um, and that's what we had to do. We had to do. We didn't want to travel across the country and then walk out with an L. But leading up to that game, I think practice was for sure more tense, but it was more detail oriented, I would say for sure. But a lot of guys, we just bonded together closely. And then we was like, man, let's just go out there and do what we do. And that's what we ended up doing. Yeah, like you said, though, ended up with a sack. That was a cool little move. But, the play, I made that play because the guys around me, did their job. So couldn't done it without them.
Awesome. Also want to highlight the game that ended up helping you, get bowl eligible, and also a great win against a rival, of course, the Commonwealth Clash, with you
Oh, yeah.
against Virginia. Definitely a great game. You guys are able to go out there, able to dominate, and really shut down their offense. So, any memories perhaps from that particular game? Any particular
Man,
play you can talk me through?
man, every time I'm getting asked this question, man, I just can't stop smiling from ear to ear because it was the first game I got to play against UVA in Lane Stadium, full crowded. First game, first time ever. Um, and I remember me saying before the season started, I was like, one of my main goals, like my top 5 goals, is to go out there and play for the guys that didn't have that opportunity, which was Norrell, Mario, my guy Jalen Griffin and Taiwan Garbett, all those guys, because they didn't get that opportunity. And I knew that I had one shot and one opportunity to do it for those guys. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But for the game to go out the way it did, for Pop Watson to do what he did, for all the guys on offense to play how they did, for all the guys to play on defense the way they did, man. That right there was a true definition of 4 quarter game. Let's put a bow on this season. Go out and let's go get bowl eligible, and let's just do this thing. And I ended up the game with a sack too, so that was great. Um, and it was just for me that was probably the most perfect game that I could ever ask for in a
Yeah,
way.
in a weird sort of way. I mean, it's kind of the icing on the cake of your college career. I mean, of course, the following week didn't exactly go the way you guys wanted to, but I mean,
Yeah.
you're able to walk away, winning against your a longtime rival, and so it still feels good as you're shutting the door to your college career. So again. A lot of great years, a lot of great moments there at Virginia Tech. Let's go ahead and move on, man. I mean, you had your pro day here recently, so talk through your pro day somewhat, and I don't know anything that comes to mind, whether it be your overall performance or some of your interactions with some of the scouts.
Yeah, it was a great day for me, I would say. Um, but the process for sure was a killer, man. Like it was just a long way to pro day, and but that's the grind. That's the grind that a lot of people don't talk about. But coming up to that day, I think for the 3 days leading up to that day, it really hit me like I'm really about to do this. I'm about to like have the biggest job interview in my whole entire life, in front of 32 teams, and I just always told myself, uh, just go out there, be the best you. I tell myself a lot before every game is be you, you be great. Um, but overall, come to throughout the whole workout, I left pro day, left the facility with my chin up and felt very good about my performance. From my agent, I got a lot of good feedback, for sure, from a lot of teams. Um, a lot of things that I do got to work on for sure. I think that's for everybody.
Sure.
But just leaving there and hearing the feedback, I couldn't ask for much more. But I feel great about it.
Yeah, definitely displayed good overall mobility and solid strength. I mean, 31-inch vertical, um, depending on who you ask, a pretty good 40 too. So, getting over around like the 5 second mark. I mean, kind of nice to be able to be in that 4.9-ish range
Yep.
somewheres. I guess it all depends on which scout you talk to as to how
Yeah.
fast you were, but I
Right.
definitely think that you displayed certainly sufficient athleticism overall for your position, and nothing too
For sure.
deficient in any way that you were able to go out there and really establish your ability to play at the next level. So,
Sure.
um, cool. So, Josh, let's I don't know, kind of move on from there. I mean, you ended up having a solid pro day. So anything else that we need to know about this Josh Fuga guy before we close up? I mean, anything about you maybe off the field, in your community, or anything that we can share with people?
Yeah, man. Just know that this big guy can move, for sure. But other than that, just reiterate that I'm a big family guy, family oriented, big community guy too. I love to give back always. Leader of men. That like I put that before being a football player for sure. But other than that, it was great to be here, great to talk,
Gotcha.
chop it up a little
I,
bit.
I see. I think is it a Marvel poster in the back?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big Marvel fan or anything like that. I just liked it because it was pretty cool and it was on sale. But one thing to add though is I'm a big Call of Duty guy. So if anybody love to play Call of Duty, I'm your guy.
No, I hear you. No, I was going to ask you the question. I mean, because I know it's behind you. Is there maybe a Marvel character that you somewhat identify with or really like? Maybe one of your favorites?
Oh, what's the guy that does the little circle thing?
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. I like what he does. Like what he does. Um,
He
but
definitely has a coolness about him, I think.
yeah, for sure, real cool. Very. What's that word that started with a D that became a little trend? Demure in a way. Very demure. Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has this I don't know, classy cool about him. It also has a lot of confidence in himself, a little bit of swag.
Mhm.
Um, you think you bring a little swag to your game out there or what?
Oh man, I would say so. I would say I got a little swag. What I call it big guy swag, you know. It was so funny. I'll tell this quick story. Um, when Coach Price got the job, it was a running on joke that he used to always call me accessory guy, Mr. Accessory Guy. And the reason why was because if you look back, I don't know if it's like on film or there's pictures out there, but if you look back, I just look at it and I get really disgusted. But I had bands on my arms, bands on my legs, probably one leg sleeve. I had at one point I had two towels on my back. Um, I had a baby pacifier, the pacifier that DK Metcalf wear.
Yeah.
I had that, and it was a complete, excuse my language, it was a shit show, you know. And I just looked back at it, and he reminded me, he was like, "You want to be that guy, or you want to be a football player?" And from that on, man, I was like, "I want to be a football player." And now you can see literally physically, if you find a picture with that or what I just described, and you see what I played for these past 2, 3 seasons, I only got leggings and gloves, or probably just one band somewhere. But other than that, man,
Got you.
I can say though, it's a little swag to it. I think I put it on a little
All
good
right.
too.
It sounds good. I mean, I do appreciate the story. I mean, I think it's kind of nice to be able to certainly have fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong about having fun out there, but I mean, I think now we're looking at a guy who's not only very mature, but certainly very professional and really ready to take this bull by the horns and really, get himself into the pros somewhere. So,
Yeah.
as we close up, man, I want you to go ahead, look into the camera, talk to all them scouts out there. Tell them what they would be getting if they took a chance on you, man. Tell them the type of guy, once again, that they would be getting if they said, "Hey, Fuga, go ahead and be a part of our defensive line group. Go for it."
Yeah. To all y'all scouts that's watching this, for sure, y'all gonna get a guy that's ready to work, ready to dominate whatever task is given to him, but for sure, a leader of men, for sure. And I think that's what a lot of teams need is a guy to come in and be that crutch to other guys that don't got it figured out. And I believe that I got a lot of things figured out, especially how to navigate through this thing that we all in is life, this thing called life. But yeah, I'm for sure a leader of men. I'm really community bound, family oriented. But you get me, you get a ball player for sure.
Cool. I mean, definitely getting a defensive lineman who is able to, establish leverage early on. Utilize his strength, push the pocket, shut down the run. Um, who takes on double teams with pride and is able to make a difference in the community as well. So, Josh, want to wish you all the best moving forward. Okay, buddy.
Thank you, thank you, I appreciate it.
Sure. Once again, I got Josh Fuga, defensive lineman out of Virginia Tech. Check this dude out.